3, 2, 1. Hey guys, guess what? We
What?
are live. We're live.
Yeah.
We're talking live. People are gonna listen to our thoughts and stuff.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of the fights. What a way to start.
Mixed Martial Angst podcast. I am your host, Ben Cohn. My co-host decided, not gonna watch the fights.
Hey, I went to watch Captain Marvel, okay?
Okay, cool.
Let's now talk about that. It was okay.
All right.
Just okay.
Bilal is actually with us today. He's muted right now because, demons. We try to...
Fuck you, Ben.
Well, now you definitely know it's here. Well, last night certainly happened with fights, and it was a weird bag. Not going to lie. It took place in Wichita, Kansas, so you can definitely expect quality fights throughout the night.
Is Kansas known for something? I'm sorry, I have to interject. Is Kansas known for something other than Wizard of Oz and Superman?
No.
I'm pretty sure they're known for Dust in the Wind and Carry On My Wayward Son.
Huh. There you go.
Talk about the band.
Okay, continue.
Nice pull, Bilal. Nice pull. The prelims, we're just going to get those out of the way in 12 seconds. Zach Otto got knocked the fuck out by Alex Moreno after calling him out, if I'm not mistaken. And it was...
Who is Zach Otto and why was it funny?
Zach Otto's the guy who fought Sage Northcutt at welterweight relatively recently and lost by KO.
Oh.
He's like one of those guys who's lacks in every way, shape, and form athleticism while also being a solid fighter technically.
Is that the guy that looks very old?
He looks
that dude.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about.
Oh, I remember it because they said that fight with Northcutt was like a dad versus lad fight. I thought it was a really funny pun.
Like it's very, very funny. He's like, to be a guy that, like, he's pretty solidly skilled. He's got a black belt in jiu-jitsu. His wrestling is, decent for MMA standards. He's not a bad striker. He's just lacks everything you need to be successful at welterweight, which it requires athleticism and durability, and he has neither of those at this point. So
don't forget Division 1 wrestler.
Yeah.
Don't forget be a Division 1 wrestler. So
yeah.
Wait, he is a Division 1 wrestler?
He's not. That's the point. You need to be one.
Oh.
Okay, and then submission got a triangle choke on Louis Smolka. People kind of forget what Louis Smolka is every single time he wins a fight. And yeah, he got choked again because he's way, way, way overconfident in his submission grappling.
I feel bad for him.
Matt Schnell, good shit.
Yeah.
I think this one was at flyweight too. Oh wait, no, this was bantamweight. This might have been a bantamweight, but Schnell's on a good win streak right now. 3 fights in the UFC. After a 2-fight losing streak to start, so good for him. Good up.
I was gonna say because like the smart thing for all flyweights to do is just fight other flyweights, but at bantamweight. So like if you lose, you can just say, "I'm a bantamweight. I can't get cut."
That's exactly what it is.
It works the exact opposite.
Worth mentioning is Yana Kunitskaya's nose getting punched through the other side of her face, a la Rich Franklin, and she's still. Because Marion Renault did all of her damage in round 3.
Damn.
I don't know if you guys remember Tony Martin, who used to fight at featherweight. At lightweight?
No, I don't.
At lightweight.
You're talking about Rocco Mama.
Anthony Rocco Martin, and he just defeated Sergio Moraes by decision while Moraes got really frustrated. Very cute.
Oh, sad.
Yep. Omari Akhmedov and Tim Boach fought. That's it.
Caveman, Tim Boach.
Caveman fought, he lost. It was bad. 3 fights.
Damn.
3 rounds. He lost all of them. He looks old and kind of chunky now.
Sadness, more sadness.
See the actual podcast after going through the fights that were just not.
Hasn't Tim Boach always looked old and kind of chunky?
Yeah, but there's
always
a muscular look to his gut. Now it's just like a saggy gut.
Sad. That made me sad. And since I didn't watch the fights, I'm just imagining him there, like his belly like swaying to the sides as he moves. like trying to avoid punches and throwing like an overhand.
Bad. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
It's just like it was hanging over the shorts a little bit now, as opposed to just like staying stationary while he moves.
Well, the age will do that to you.
The Anderson Silva in tights dilemma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, like I said, welcome to the podcast. We would like some support from our listeners. We love you guys. Thank you so much for joining every single week. You know, we have grown slowly but surely. We'd like to grow a little bit more. Please share the podcast. Let people know. We're going to start going onto iTunes this week, hopefully. We'll start getting it.
Whoa.
Yeah, I'm going to put it onto iTunes. It's time. It's time. Time to
It is time.
Corporation.
Sell out. That to sell out our dignity.
Yeah, we're selling out our dignity. We're gonna start putting it on iTunes and hopefully Stitcher. I got to work on Stitcher first.
Do we have to pay for that?
No. I hope not.
Okay.
Stitcher, I don't know, but definitely iTunes. You don't have to pay for, as far as I know.
Okay, we have to settle that.
Follow us on Twitter. We're MMAngstp, MMangstp. And on the YouTube channel, our YouTube channel is
on the YouTube
channel is MMangst Podcast.
We're old people. We're really old people.
Follow us on the YouTube and on the Twitter. Please share with your friends, subscribe, let people know. All right, we're gonna start with the main event. Junior Dos Santos knocked out Derek Lewis in the second round via punches.
But where?
With his face, with his punches to the faces. It was a weird fight.
To his many faces, or just one of the faces?
Derek Lewis is what? Okay, right.
He's a multifaceted man. We know this.
Why did I pick Junior Dos Santos? Derek Lewis is bigger, slower, has terrible output, terrible cardio, and isn't that durable. Like, he's just not that durable. His power allows him to survive in situations that other heavyweights just physically cannot. Because
so he is the exact inverse. He's inversely proportional to Tisha Torres then.
Exactly.
He's like the nature's answer to Tisha Torres being what she is was Derek Lewis.
Derek Lewis is the heavyweight antithesis of Tisha Torres.
Yeah. I feel sad.
So, like,
but. Did you see Derek Lewis's takedown attempt?
Yes, that was actually he's done.
What?
He's done that before, by the way. He's done that takedown attempt before.
Oh,
it's so fucking funny.
No, I mean, it's actually.
But he's back. He's back. He shouldn't be doing that.
Well, that's why.
In fact, he shouldn't be.
Not even his back. He just doesn't have the skills. It looks like he saw the move on TV and it's like, it goes something like this. Let me try it, and then like. Just halfway through, he gives up. It's like, nah, I probably couldn't make this.
All right.
Doesn't he train like 1 hour a day?
He trains 3 hours a day now.
Oh, well, that's an improvement.
Listen, why did I say JDS would win? Because a lot of people were saying, like, no, Lewis is just too powerful. He's going to clock JDS and JDS will go down. Take a look at the guys that JDS beat on his run, right?
No. The trick is that if he didn't beat him at 24th minute, he was losing the fight.
Anyway, Fabricio Verdum, at the time that he fought JDS, was kind of slow, limited on the feet, and was fighting heavier than he does now. Well, now he's heavy again, but during his championship run, he cut weight. Right? Stefan Struve, slow, very limited, especially defensively. You know,
yes.
Output is fine, but like big, slow, not very durable. Mirko Krokop, all right, was definitely slower at the time. His durability was gone, so he's like the outlier in terms of speed, but his output was never high. So he does
also no power cells.
Right. Gilbert Ivel, slow. I don't know.
Fuck that guy.
Remember his output anyway, so fuck him. Gabriel Gonzaga, slow, low output, limited striker. Roy Nelson, slow, low output, limited striker. Shane Carwin, slow, low output, limited striker. Cain Velasquez, Frank Mir.
Why do you laugh like that?
Remember that guy who used to fight at a high level? Yeah, me too.
You know, that's sad. This is going to be me getting sadder and sadder. Like, we should have like a sad-o-meter that just keeps going up and up.
Like, okay, Frank Mir, same thing. No, big, low output, limited striker, limited durability. Mark Hunt, he didn't have limited durability, but he fit every other criteria except for slow. Like low output, limited tool set, not a limited striking ability, but a limited tool set. Very similar stuff he throws in every fight, and he's low output.
Cardio. But he's older now, so
yeah, but his cardio wasn't great even. And then we have Ben Rothwell. The real outlying win there was Stipe Miocic because he wasn't low output. He also was a wrestler, did huge damage to ADS as well, but his cardio was limited.
He then lost to him.
And he then lost him the next time around. Overeem, better striker than JDS in terms of, skill sets, even if he is limited, but he's not slower. His durability sucks, but JDS's durability was also compromised by this point. Like, there's a lot to notice from the guys he's beaten him. Cain Velasquez didn't low output, had cardio, was able to take JDS away, the 4 tools away that he uses. Overeem, same thing. Stipe Miocic, same thing the second time around. Blagoy Ivanov, big, slow, limited. Tai Tuivasa, big, not slow, but limited, and somehow finished him. And Derek Lewis. You guys see a theme there?
Yeah, but Tuivasa is not slow, though. I don't think he is slow. He's limited, but he's not slow.
Who?
Tuivasa. He's wonky, but he's not slow.
Derek Lewis? I mean, he's...
No, Tai Tuivasa. Tuivasa.
I wouldn't say he's... I would say that he's foot slow. No?
No, he's unpolished, but for heavyweight standards, he's like... He exists in that medium to fast range for heavyweight standards. He's not super fast, but he's medium fast. Medium fast, I would say.
Yes, even today is straight up fast as fuck.
Yes, that's why he won.
Right. That's my point. And also that I would say that Junior's win over Tuivasa was more stylistic as opposed to the physical things as well. But
also Tuivasa made mistakes.
Yeah, there's also he made mistakes and he just thought he could fight JDS in his preferred range and win, which you honestly still can't because JDS is still an athletic talent and still hits fucking hard.
And he's still fast.
But let's go down. Let's discuss what happened in the Derek Lewis fight. JDS just was blazing fast against Derek Lewis. It looked like a light heavyweight almost fighting him, right?
Well, comparing them, I guess.
No, Lewis just wasn't moving much, right? He was throwing his weird jumping head kicks.
What?
Yeah, dude, he always does. That's a meme. He's literally never landed a single one, but he throws them in every fight.
How do I always forget?
Because he never lands them. That's why. So JDS hurt him a couple times. He hurt him with a big overhand right, and he's like, "Oh, I got him ready to finish." And then Lewis clocks him and just sends him flying across the octagon. JDS is like, "Okay, I'm just gonna go back to pot shotting him from range because that's what's working." Hits him with a spinning back kick to the body. Hurts him so bad. Lewis crumples. JDS comes flying in. Guess what happens again?
He gets hit.
He gets clobbered. He gets rolling across the octagon. He damn near did a Brock Lesnar versus Kane almost.
Okay, but sorry. Who did the almost rolling thing?
Almost what? Oh, JDS. He was sent flying across the octagon.
He got hit?
Yeah, he came in recklessly again.
Jesus.
So didn't learn his lesson, right?
I'm imagining it in my head, and it looks so much fun.
It was very fun, the fight. Don't get me wrong. It was very ridiculous, but it was also very fun. So, fine. He damn near kills, what's his name? Derek Lewis. Damn near kills him with these shots. Lewis survives despite the fact that his body is completely shattered. Like, he got hit right in the liver. JDS was landing 1 out of every 2 shots, essentially. Like, he was kicking the shit out of him. But he couldn't figure out how to freaking finish him. It was actually really sad. Like, he literally could not figure out how to finish Derek Lewis. Even though he's literally doubled over.
Who was the ref here?
Herb Dean.
Well, that kind of explains
No,
something.
no. Like a lot of refs probably would have stepped in and actually stopped it. I would say when Lewis literally, like when JDS backed off and Lewis is completely crumpled, like he's bent over at the waist holding his gut. A lot of refs might have stepped in there.
But I mean, he does that every fight. Maybe
Correct.
they were just like,
right. Well, no, it's Herb Dean.
Also, he needed to sacrifice to the blood god.
Correct. So then the second round comes in. Derek Lewis lands 1 strike. JDS lands 11. Got a knockdown and the finish. He landed 60% of his strikes. Like he figured out. He's like, oh, I'm not going to rush in recklessly. I'm going to be careful. See if I can expect a turn punch from Lewis and just punch him in the face slow, like carefully, and then I'll knock him out.
So basically, not be Travis Brown.
Essentially, not be Travis Brown. Correct.
Or Stefan, or not who's Alexander Volkov.
Or no, Volkov didn't
rush in
for the finish. He just got stupid. And he got like instead, like the whole fight, he's fighting at a distance that actually fits his height and length and kicking the shit out of Lewis from range. And then he's like, I'm going to close distance.
In the closing moments of the fight.
In the last seconds of the fight, he's like, I'm going to knock him out in the clinch or something.
No, but he did that quite a few times in the fight. He'd always have Lewis like badly hurt against the cage, just like cringing and hold over. And then he'd come in and get clocked and then he'd back away. And the last one finally put it down.
I love that.
The last one was in open space also, so Lewis was able to get all of his power in there too.
Ew.
Anyway, so what do we learn about Junior Dos Santos? This was
a
performance from him, other than the getting not rocked twice because his chin is just not where it used to be. We learned nothing. Junior Dos Santos can beat the exact same type of opponent he's always been able to beat in impressive fashion. Derek Lewis is exactly the same fighter. He kind of looked okay in terms of like trying to avoid some of the bigger shots from JDS for most of the fight, but like he got jabbed to the body a lot. He got kicked in the body a lot. On the line, he didn't look good at all. Like in the first round, he got hit with almost 50% of all the strikes that JDS threw. It's not good. And the thing is that Derek Lewis is not durable. He gets hurt to the body a lot. His chin is not great. So he's a literal glass cannon, but he's like, there's so much cannon.
But he's very durable. Like if you can get your ass kicked for 24 minutes, point some seconds.
But he's not durable. Then you don't get knocked out 5 times at heavyweight. You're 4 times at heavyweight and be durable.
No, but at heavyweight, hey, remember the rules. If you get knocked out enough times, you actually become more durable. Remember Dre Arlovsky. Remember Dre Arlovsky.
Durable, it makes you more defensive. Like it took 15 years for Arlovsky to figure out, like, maybe I should block punches to the face without my face. And then he like became really defensively sound, and it was weird.
And no, it was like that for literally everyone.
Yeah,
it's like they managed to stay in for just long enough that they actually got skills.
Right, and I think JDS will eventually get there too. But if he stays around,
really, it's heavyweight. Like you need to fight like get flatlined by Sergey Kharitonov or something. Which, by the way, did you see when he got kicked in the balls by Matt Mitrione?
Who?
Sergey? No, what is he? Sergey Kharitonov?
Yeah. Oh, guys, JDS is only 13 years into his career. He's fine. He's just entering his prime.
You know what? That you may have a point there.
I know.
Unlike Kane.
All right. I don't know what else to say. I think JDS is probably going to get Ngannou next.
No.
I'd love that.
Avenge Kane.
I love watching JDS get the entire arena to sing "Happy Birthday" to his son. And
that's so sweet. He's so sweet.
And he cannot sing for shit.
No, but it's part of the charm, I imagine.
Like I imagine it has a lot to do with the fact that he's Brazilian. So when he's like "Happy Birthday to you," "Happy Birthday to you," he didn't change the. He just kept singing "Happy Birthday to you, Happy Birthday to you, Happy Birthday to you." He doesn't change the key. He doesn't change the way it's supposed to go, like the ups and downs, like at all. So it's just.
But isn't that charming? Isn't that what Schwarzenegger built an entire career on, like just having a weird accent?
It was so cute. Don't get me wrong. I loved it. I thought it was adorable. Okay.
He's a sweet man. He used to own a toy store back in Brazil.
Of course he did. Even if like I still remember people seeing pictures of him with his ex-wife.
Yeah.
Being dicks about it because she wasn't pretty. They were like total assholes. And I always fucking hated that. And when they got divorced, people were like being really shitty about it. And they're like, "Oh yeah, good for him. Get a hot wife now." And I'm like, dude, he fucking was married to her for 10 years. Obviously, he loved her at some point, and apparently they're still on good terms.
But
go fuck
yourself. Yes, they're in good terms. Like even his ex-wife has good things to say about this guy. Like
that's like a sign of like a good dude. Like really.
He really does seem like a decent dude. And I remember like there was this one time where people were like, Junior Dos Santos is knocking people out. And did you remember that misunderstanding where people thought he was somewhere in Miami, like punching people in it, like in some backroom brawl or something, like in a club?
I didn't know.
Yeah, the people actually thought it was him. Like someone quote unquote identified him as individual punching people at a bar, at a club. Or he was at a bar. Anyways, whatever. And they actually came out and defended himself. Like, no, I would never do such things. That you just felt so bad for him.
Wow. Okay. Okay. Bilal, do you have anything to say?
Not really. You pretty much just I don't have anything else to say. It was cute.
All right. Let's move on to the co-main event, which was quite short, and I think we can honestly say that Curtis Millender is exciting. He's young. He's not even that young. He's 31, but he's young in his career in the UFC, I would say, and he's only been fighting since got time. But he's athletic. He was on a 3-fight win streak in the UFC: Alves, Griffin, and Bardazada. And then he ran into a dude who's like legitimately would be a top 15 in any other weight class in his position. And he's barely top 50. I think he was ranked number 15. And he just dominated him on the ground. Like Dos Santos is known for putting in these crazy, crazy fights. With he had the fight of the nights with Griffin and Good and Akhmedov. I don't know how he drew out a fight of the night with Omari Akhmedov, but good for him. But he's on a long win streak now. He's got 7 fights, I think, 6 or 7 fights. 7 fights. 7-fight win streak at welterweight.
In what weight class did this happen?
Welterweight. He's on a 7-fight win streak at welterweight, dude. The dude is, and he's not like old. He's 32, so he's still like in his physical prime.
Well, he's not more worn than Robbie Lawler.
No, he's not. But he's also on the come up, and he's not as good as Robbie Lawler yet. So. I think Heavy Hands described him as the Brazilian Carlos Condit, but Carlos Condit doesn't have a fight IQ that would make no, I can't. You know what? Maybe this is his version of Carlos Condit versus Nick Diaz, where he just took down the young striker and just destroyed him on the ground in 2 minutes and 35 seconds.
Yes.
So maybe he still is, but that was a really good fight IQ, and. He's a legit fighter. He's got legitimately good skills on the ground and on the feet. He's durable as shit. He's athletic. He's fun. Give this guy a top 15 fight. My next question for you guys is there anyone in particular you'd like him to see? Alejandro?
By Michael Chiesa.
Neil Magny.
I don't think Chiesa's ranked.
No. Yeah, so?
No, let him fight. Let him fight Neil Magny.
You have a 7-fight win streak and you get him Michael Chiesa? Seriously? You being a dick for?
But Michael Chiesa has some sense, like, look, it's a semblance of a name. So who is this guy beating? I know he's good, but who has he beat that the average person would know?
Who is Dos Santos?
Yes.
I mean,
who was he?
He just beat what's his name? He just beat Millender, but he also beat Sean Strickland, Lyman Good.
See, you don't know his name. That's my point. People sort of have an idea who Michael Chiesa is, so you give him a win, and then
what's the
No,
you could also just give him a ranked fighter like Neil Magny. You just don't want to see Neil Magny lose again.
Hey, don't take it against me. I like Neil Magny.
No, shut up.
No, you be
Magny is a name. He's now ranked out of the top 10.
Yes, he's so sweet. I don't want him to get hurt. Wait, what are their demons again in the background?
I muted him. It's fine.
They're back.
Not anymore. No, I mean, like,
I know, like ideally you give him Neil Magny. He's on the downswing. He's ranked. You should give him Neil Magny.
Yeah, and Dos Santos would probably beat him. So
yeah, but I want him to fight Michael Chiesa instead. Or Kevin Lee if he moves to welterweight. Why not?
yeah,
why do you just want to put him up with former lightweights?
And right now he's the only one that can't drive.
What is with you?
It's like demons. Bilal is conjuring things.
Curtis Millender needs to step down. Honestly, just give him time. I think he should take a little bit of time, 6 months, just to work on rounding out his game a little bit. What the hell, man?
Because it's a puta madre. Now it's some fucking assholes trying to get money from me. Fuck them.
Murder him in his house.
No, it's people from cell phone companies. Like they want something. I don't know what it is. Look, here's the deal. Also, I don't know the number, and if you don't know the number of the person calling you, you don't pick up. That's just the rules. You just don't pick up. Yeah, because you can be there can be like extortionists on the other side or crazy shit like that. So you better not pick up.
Thank you.
Well, different country, different rules, brother.
True. All right. Bilal, anything to say on this particular fight in itself, or where you want to see?
I just want him rushed up because he's not that old, but he is kind of old, and he's beaten guys who've gotten better step-ups in competition. That to Mike Perry.
Mike Perry, I like that.
This is why Bilal is the second best co-host. Co-host, I mean. He's the second best. He is the best co-host.
I was gonna say second best co-host would mean the second best co-host.
I know.
What?
I made a mistake, is all, and he caught it too. I mean to say he's the best co-host. Alejandro, don't worry. You're also the second best co-host.
Who is it? Not second best co-host.
Pat Wyman, man.
He gets things wrong. Yeah, I'll say it.
You picked Lewis.
No,
I'm joking. You didn't. I know you didn't. I'm not going to throw you. I'm not going to lie about that.
No, but he's great. Listen to Tides of History. It's a great podcast.
I know it is a great podcast. Shout out to Tides of History.
Yeah,
definitely go listen to that. It's.
Also, he's a doctor already, so maybe I can't talk shit yet.
Yeah, literal doctor.
Little doctor.
Literal doctor. Doctor.
No, Dr. Wyman. It sounds distinguished, right? Like I can say I'm a doctoral candidate, but it doesn't quite carry the same cloud. So I'm just gonna wait, and then when I get the doctorate, we can say Doctor so and so.
But you're literally saying almost doctor.
Yeah, it's like an almost doctor, nigh doctor.
Nico Price knocked out Tim Means. Holy shit, that fight.
I don't like.
What?
I don't like that result. I like Tim Means.
I like Tim Means too. Don't get me wrong. I actually really wanted him to win.
But he was his ass kicked.
Nico Price, this dude is turning into he's basically the welterweight version of Derek Lewis in a way.
What? No. How?
Because he gets the shit kicked out of him and then wins by knockout or submission.
Yes, okay. Well, Derek Lewis has never had a submission that I remember. First. Second, is he like... What?
I think by punches or something.
Huh. But is he as technically unsound as Derek Lewis?
No, he's definitely more technical.
So no.
But he's...
So then you can't be...
But he's also... But that's because he fights at welterweight, not because he's actually that good. He's not a great fighter in terms of skills. He's just fucking lunatic. Like, listen to me reading to you his fucking crazy ass. Like, let me read to you his record. Brandon Thatch. I don't remember the fight, but if I'm not mistaken, he was getting lit up on the feet and then choked and got a submission.
Oh, Brandon Thatch. He was going to be a next big thing, wasn't he?
Yes. Then Alex Morono, a no contest,
Sadness.
and he won by knockout.
Uh-huh.
Alan Jobin, he defeated him by TKO in a performance of the night. I think that's when we knew Alan Jobin's chin was gone.
Well, he still has a career being a good-looking man.
Oh yeah. Then he got choked out by Vicente Luque. Then he choked out George Sullivan. All right. Randy Brown is the guy. Do you remember that guy getting knocked out from the bottom, like when he was like in?
Oh, yes, I do remember that.
Nico Price did that.
He hits kind of hard. It's my guess.
And then we have Abdul Razak Al-Hassan knocking him out in the first round in 43 seconds because they're just dudes who you're not going to be able to eat punches from. And then Tim Means was lighting his ass up, and then he got clocked with the right hand. I don't know if you guys know this, but Tim Means badly fucked up his ankle on the fall.
I just saw some picture and I thought that looks very, very bad. Take this man to a hospital now.
Mm-hmm. Bilal is actually leaving. He's going to the cinema, as he said. Bilal, do you want to say goodbye?
I'll see you guys later. Gonna watch
Take your music. Later.
Yeah. Later.
Yeah, that was actually a good song.
All right. What the hell am I supposed to say? Like, Tim Means, he's honestly, for me, a joy to watch. There was at one point where he reached out with his right hand and grabbed the wrist of Nico Price, and he hit him with this absolutely gorgeous combination. And I just jumped out of my seat. I was like, oh! Because if that would have been...
And then Price just ate it?
No, that was later on in the fight. That was like first Nico Price rocks him like in the first minute. Means takes him down, recovers, and then just starts beating the shit out of Price on the feet. He's literally kicking the crap out of him. And then just gets clocked with 10 seconds left and goes down.
And 10 seconds left in the round or in the fight?
In the round. It was the first round.
Okay.
So, I mean, I have no words. Like, it doesn't...
It does not compute?
It doesn't compute, no.
No, sometimes it happens. Like, sometimes technical people get too caught up. Well, of course, I didn't watch the fight. But they get caught up in just their routine, right? And sometimes, like, they just cannot get away from it. And then some guy comes in, does something wonky, and they just get clocked, and then the fight's over.
First time he's ever been knocked out. The other time he got finished by TKO, it was an injury in like a minute and 40 seconds into his...
Yeah, but did he see it coming? Like, was it coming from a distance, or was it just something...
He got countered. He got countered in an exchange.
Oh, shit.
Like, I don't think he saw it. I don't think he expected that punch.
No, right? Well, that's why they knock you out. Like, people, yeah. I think I have...
It is gone, but he was like out. It wasn't...
No. No, yes. I think that people have, like, and you have actually trained striking, so you can tell me, like, I think people tense, like, when they're fighting, they involuntarily tense up when they feel danger coming, and then they sort of release when they feel they're out of danger. So when they have released, like, their neck muscles are not stiff. So when they get hit, there's not a lot of cushion there. Not cushion, but something to absorb the torque of the punch.
Well, yeah.
So it's easier for you to get knocked out. And that's probably what happened to him.
Well, that's expecting a punch versus not expecting a punch or kick or whatever. Like, when you're coming, you're able to kind of like try and prepare your body to receive the blow. When you're
you tense up.
What?
You tense up.
No, you literally, that's why you're supposed to exhale as you punch, because it automatically tenses your body and, excuse me. So, yeah, I mean, like, this is what sucks about Tim Means is that he's so good, and his recent run for the last, like, 2-3 years has not been good. Like,
no, people sometimes cannot catch a break. Like, and it does not reflect their level of skill.
Doesn't. Like, he was... Like, when he first went back up to welterweight, first of all, it's just like he lost to Neil Magny. Then he fought two guys who don't even have Wikipedia pages. Then he fought Diego Lima and George Sullivan. He got a 4-fight win streak. He lost by submission in this awesome fight to Matt Brown, where he like was hurting Matt Brown on the feet. He knocked out John Howard. He knocked out Sabah Hamasi. He had the no contest with Alex Oliveira, Cowboy, Brazilian Cowboy. He lands 2 knees to Oliveira's head, and it was like he was grounded or whatever it was. In the rematch, he just looked like shit and got choked out in the second round. He beats Alex Garcia. He loses 2 straight split decisions to Bilal Muhammad and Sergio Moraes. And then he knocks out Ricky Rainey, and now this. Like he in his last 7 fights, he's got a no contest, a loss, a win, 2 losses, a win, and a loss.
Yeah, sometimes it happens.
Yeah, Tim Means is like a legitimate fighter, and people are gonna forget that. Which means that fights he might not be the favorite, and I can put a bet down on him.
Yeah, that's sneaky. But yeah, like sometimes there are fighters that just get.
I mean, he has been fighting 2004, so 15 years.
Yeah, I mean, he could well be in this downswing on his and he does take damage, right?
He does take damage. He's fought at lightweight a few times, so yeah.
That took a toll, I'm sure.
Yeah,
because he's not like a small welterweight either.
No, he's a big welterweight. He's not like physically like he's not like ripped or anything, but I forgot. I mean, he had 2 UFC runs. I forgot about that.
Yeah, but I mean, there are fighters sometimes that fall into these ruts, and even though they're very, very good, very technically sound, they either get injured or they cannot build momentum. Like the fighter that that is the most striking case for me of someone that couldn't quite put it together. Like I know he was not like an athletic phenom, but he's like the example that my head goes to is Cole Miller. Oh, you remember Cole Miller?
Yeah, but he was also super unathletic.
I know. That's why I said that he's not like the most athletic guy around. But he could never quite put things together in a way that he could have momentum so that he could move forward. Even like lose a good fight or just like shit kept happening to him. That's my point. Like sometimes shit for whatever reason, even if they're good, and dude had a good jiu-jitsu game. I hear Daniel in the background.
That's true. I'm gonna mute myself until Daniel's out.
No, it's fine. You can leave it. People don't care about babies crying. But yeah, like sometimes shit just happens to people. That's it. Let's move on.
All right. So, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much it. And I don't really know what's next for either of them because Tim Means was winning the fight, and he showed he was definitely the more skilled fighter. That's it.
He probably
got
caught.
Probably would win that fight most of the time, and Nico Price will continue to lose fights until he wins them. So, I honestly don't know what's next for either of them. Yeah. I think
Nico Price keeps getting fights at this level, and Tim Means probably needs to step down. How many losses in a row for him?
It's one. He just beat.
Oh, it's fine.
That's the thing. Anytime they give Tim Means a step down, he just destroys. Like he
good for him. Yeah, makes him money.
So I'm cool with that. I'm cool with watching him just get a step down and beat up on some dudes. I'm really cool.
Oh, so you're cool with Tim Means getting a step down, but you're not cool with preserving the physical integrity of Neil Magny?
Fuck Neil Magny.
No, he's a good guy. Fuck you.
Fuck Neil Magny.
No, he was great.
I know he is, but like Tim Means is an actual skilled fighter. Neil Magny.
He should fight him. You know what? Tim Means should fight Neil Magny. How about that?
He lost him.
Oops. I guess he's not that good either. I guess he's good. He's good.
He's fun though. Neil Magny is boring when he's winning.
Yeah, but he's such a good person though.
Blagoy Ivanov defeated Ben Rothwell by decision. I don't want to talk about it because it was bad. Daniil Dariush submitted Drew Dober, and good God, was it gorgeous. He had this triangle armbar as he was getting slipped off the back, and it was the best thing ever. I loved it. It was fantastic. It was sublime. first of all, Beneil Dariush is lucky that Drew Dober doesn't hit hard, because if he does, he would not have won that fight. He would have been knocked out in the first. Because Drew Dober has
That's bad.
Dariush, like, I love the guy, but he doesn't have the durability anymore.
Did he ever have the durability though?
He only got knocked out by Ramsey Nijem. And then he got like the Ed Zimmer post a loss. Oh God. Listen, it was never great, but it was serviceable. Now it seems that he's not even going to be in serviceable territory. If Drew Dober is rocking you, that's a problem.
Well, he does look very well muscled.
Yeah,
he
looks like he should be able to hurt you, but he's only knocked out like 4 people in his entire career, and all of them were prior to the UFC, if I'm not mistaken.
Wow, so he's like a male Tisha Torres then.
No, he can crack, but it's not good.
I know, but he looks jacked. But then when he touches you, it's kind of like, huh? Okay, I can take this.
That's correct. And then he got him. He's like, I'm just gonna take him down, and he did that, and it was great. He controlled him on the ground beautifully, and then when he got to his back, at one point, Drew Dober tried to slip out the back door, and Dariush slipped on this beautiful triangle on him from the top. So he wasn't doing like an actual triangle choke. But he used it to continue to control him so he doesn't slip off all the way. Meanwhile, he's controlling the arm and slowly but surely locking in that armbar, and then he just had all the leverage in the world to crank it.
Yikes.
And
well, I imagine like
yeah, it was beautiful in every way. There was nothing, and because Dober is extending himself, he made it even worse because he didn't have any strength to pull that arm back in.
Ooh.
So what I mean by that is that when you slip out the back door, you usually what you'll do is you'll prop yourself up on all fours and kind of like extend your upper body so that the person slides off you, right? And that is good for slipping out if you know you're free. But in this case, Dariush used it to actually lock on that triangle choke, right? Not choke, that triangle position. And because he was already extended, the only thing holding him up are his posts. So he can't drop straight down, face down on the mat, because that's going to do nothing for him, because then Dariush has an even better position of control. So Dober needs to try and slip out still, even while that triangle is being locked in. So he has to keep himself kind of extended because he can't post. Dariush is on top of his head and neck area and pulling away. So if he tries to post on one arm, he's probably not going to be able to hold it anyway, and then he's just going to fall to the floor. So you have a position where he's kind of so compromised, and the MMA metagame kind of backfired here because of Dariush having that specialty in jiu-jitsu and took advantage of that MMA metagame. Similar to how the metagame was taken advantage of by those guys who kept getting the Suluev stretch, like Sabit Magomedcharipov and the other guy who I can't remember off the top of my head, where the guys are trying to get on all fours and slip you off the back, and they just grab the leg and hit that Suluev stretch. The MMA metagame is really developed into a good space at the moment, but there's also still holes to take advantage of from specialties, and that's what happened here. Dariush used a beautiful setup, plain jiu-jitsu, and took advantage of that metagame perfectly, and it was sublime.
I understood none of that.
Oh, God, that was clear as shit.
No, I do not doubt it, but I can understand if people describe boxing to me like when you get into jiu-jitsu, I'm like, I'm so ignorant at this. What the fuck do I say now?
Man, watch a jiu-jitsu match. Also,
I am trying to get into that actually, to watch more grappling, like I can understand it when I'm watching somehow. Like, of course, there are things that I don't understand there, but when I'm watching, I can put things together. But I do not have it in my head to an extent that someone can describe it to me point by point that I can understand it. So that's homework for me.
No problem. And what I also, just to end off on this fight card, I do love that when after the fight, Dober's like walking away, like hands on his head, really disappointed and shit. And Dariush, he looks back at Dariush, and Dariush like has this big smirk on his face, like, yee. Not like a dick smirk, just like a I'm so happy smirk. And it was
sad.
He has a really nice smile.
Yeah, I don't know.
So with that,
Drew Dober. Wait, can we just say that Drew Dober has like the squarest chin I have ever seen?
Yes. Well, he gives Brian Stan a run for his money for sure.
Yeah, like dude, he's so square.
Yep. All right. So with that, we're going to finish our discussion of the UFC fight card. We're going to move on to UFC Fight Night. Till versus Masvidal. It's happening next week. We're going to definitely talk about the main event, and we'll see if we have time for some of the other fights.
Yay.
What is your take on Masvidal Till? Because they both seem to kind of like Masvidal. I feel like a lot of it depends on how much output he's going to throw out there.
Yeah.
Kind of like predict this fight more easily for me, because to me, if Masvidal puts out the output, I think he wins this fight.
Yes and no.
But
yes
if
and
he doesn't, I am not sure anymore, because Masvidal will be able to crack Till. Till is not very. He's pretty stationary.
He's not defensively sound yet.
He's not bad defensively, but he's not good, and he relies on his power to kind of scare everyone off. So what's your initial take? If you had to kind of like give a breakdown of where you see these fighters at, what do you think?
Honestly, I think it's going. Okay, if we take out the sort of big question mark around the stand-up, Masvidal should win because he's a much better wrestler. He's actually underrated as a wrestler and as a grappler.
That's very true.
So if we take in the stand-up, Masvidal should win based on that. Like, can he close the distance on Till? Well, that's a problem because he has had problems closing distance before against people that have had educated jabs, as was the case with Strikeforce Gilbert Melendez and with, say, Stephen Thompson. He has, on the other hand, had problems when actually getting to, enact some movement so that he can touch the person in front of him. Sometimes he tends to just look at you and try to look for something, but he never does anything. So he could potentially struggle with Till's length if Till shows up with like an actual game plan with trying to touch him with a jab. The problem is that Till doesn't necessarily have a good jab, and I don't know if he's going to develop that for this fight because Till likes to. Yeah, chances are he won't. So Till has more of a proclivity to want to bang it out. As like, for example, when he was fighting Tyrone Woodley, he jumped in with an uppercut for no reason. He just jumped in with an uppercut, and he tends to make those weird choices. Like sometimes he can catch you, but you have to be running away from him, like Stephen Thompson. Like he got dropped. But Masvidal doesn't seem like he's going to try to do that. Like if they clash somehow when they start exchanging punches, chances are that Till can get him there. I don't know that Masvidal's durability will hold necessarily in that scenario because he can get caught. But on the other hand, he's just so experienced, and I don't know that he will want to exchange anyways. Like, why exchange with a guy that cannot stop you from taking him down?
Can he not stop him from?
You know what I'm saying?
But who's taken down?
I don't know. Like
Tyron Woodley.
No, I know. But my point is that Darren Till isn't exactly like a wrestler's kryptonite.
No, we don't know.
And
because he really hasn't faced that.
I know. And so Masvidal does train at ATT. He does have access to a bunch of wrestling training, high level to some extent, kind of like Dustin Poirier. Like Dustin Poirier has this underrated grappling and wrestling game. We don't get to see much of it because we get fixated on the fact that he has great hands. But Masvidal is kind of like in the same facility. So I do think that it's more of a chance that he will try wrestling with Darren Till. Like we know that Darren Till's wrestling, or at least his grappling, is not up to snuff at the elite level. So maybe Masvidal can bank on that and exploit it if he can get close enough.
The last dude he took down was Ross Pearson. So
there's a fair point.
Like,
but remember, he did hang with Maia. He did not get submitted by Damian Maia, did he?
He lost the decision, but he also got taken down 4 times.
I know, but my point is that he survived.
Surviving doesn't mean he's a good offensive wrestler.
I know, but what I'm saying, I'm extrapolating. I am making an assumption here.
Wrestling
I'm not.
is not a good way to extrapolate offensive wrestling, and same as vice versa is true vice versa.
Yeah, but when you have been doing this for so okay, but that's what we'll see. That's what I am making some very clear, specific points. I am extrapolating the fact that the man knows how to grapple enough.
Does I'm not
that
saying
he has.
What I'm saying is,
I know that he
or not
has developed. I'm saying like this is my statement, my hypothesis that he has had developed. He has shown me that he has enough defensive grappling. He has shown me that he has defensive wrestling. So therefore, I am extrapolating that he probably has some offensive wrestling chops that he has not dusted off in a while. And I think that he may dust them off for this fight and just take it where the fight is easier for him to win. I mean, Darren Till's a big fucking guy. Is he going to stand there and trade with him?
I don't see why he wouldn't. He's better in the pocket than him by a significant margin.
I know, but he's also giving a lot of length.
Till is a long-range fighter, and he doesn't throw a lot of volume. Like
I know, but there is risk involved.
I've seen people throw this similarity, like, well, he lost to Stephen Thompson, who's a long kickboxer. So
no, but Thompson is much better than Till. My point is that
Thompson is better than Till. Is that he's a completely different fighter than Darren Till.
I know, but what I mean is that Thompson has this sort of. Again, I go back to these sort of managerial tendencies that I think. And that's something I also mentioned the last time they fought. Like, I think that Masvidal did crack like the code on how to beat Thompson, but physically he couldn't execute. And that tells you that even
at all, he lost the fight very clearly, if I'm not mistaken.
I know. No. I'm not saying that it was close. I know what I saw there is that he showed me, in my opinion, that he knew what he needed to do, but he couldn't get himself to do it. Right? So, but because Thompson is so good at managing the spaces, but Darren Till doesn't do that. So you may think, well, I'm sure he's going to bang it out with him, but I'm not sure that he may want to run that risk. That is necessarily that there is a path of least resistance, and that may be grappling. That's what I think. I mean, if he has to bang it out with Darren Till, sure, flip that coin and see how that goes for you, because Darren Till hits so much harder than him. And remember, he used to fight at lightweight.
Who? Masvidal, yeah, and his durability held up fine at welterweight. He's literally been knocked out one time in his entire career, and it was by Rodrigo Dam. What the fuck, Rodrigo Dam? What?
Yeah, that's crazy. No, I know, but when you get to these older fighters that have a lot of mileage, you kind of have to stop banking on the fact that they are durable. Yes, he may show up.
Hold on, Darren Till is murdering himself to make it to welterweight. So why his durability is more in question for me than
I know, and that's a fair argument. That is a fair argument. And
I would also point out that Darren Till is a much dumber fighter than George Masvidal.
Well, that is also a very fair argument. But I'm still thinking that
I don't know if you're looking at this record or not, but the only dude who is in comparable size to Darren Till that he's faced is Stephen Thompson.
Yeah.
He hasn't faced anybody that big except for maybe Cesar Ferreira, but that's not really an argument in favor of him. It's more of just he beat up a really, really drained middleweight who also doesn't have a good chin. I like Masvidal a lot, and I think that
I do too. But I do think that the
trouble here,
path of least resistance is to initiate grappling. If it doesn't go his way,
but if he initiates the grappling early, I feel like, and he loses those exchanges, I feel like that might fuck him up on the feet. I think
I agree.
He should first try and fight on the feet and see where he's at, and if he's even remotely even, he should mix in takedowns just to fuck with Till.
But I agree. I agree with all of that. But what I am saying is that he somehow has to get into those positions, right? So I do think that he has to mix in his striking. He has no choice. He's at a massive reach disadvantage, so he has no choice. He has to mix it in order to get in. But what I am saying is that if he gets in, he has a workable chance to define this thing using grappling.
Mm-hmm.
But if they start exchanging in the pocket, like flip a coin, even though he's that much better than Till, because Till is still younger, he still has a good burst or two at welterweight. Okay, were we assuming he makes weight, right? Because he may not.
What?
We are assuming that Till makes weight because he may not make weight.
That's true. That's very strong.
And
I mean, has he missed weight yet? I feel like he's missed weight at least once, right?
Yeah, I think so. We can Google it.
Twice in the UFC.
Yeah, and he has killed himself to make the weight, so he's walking into this thing diminished.
Mm-hmm.
But he still has like one good burst or two. We know he can make, mind you, the fight he beat Thompson in, and which gave him the title shot, he did not make weight in that fight, if I remember correctly.
Yep.
But we do know that he can go long if the problem is that Masvidal has this tendency to not pull the trigger, and when he does not pull the trigger, his fights become like the fight that Darren Till had with Stephen Thompson, which he was allowed to, try to put things together. And he did land that good shot that took Thompson down. So the problem is mostly with Masvidal, whether he's going to act or not on the chances that he sees, and whether he will enact the grappling the way that I think he should. So what we're going to see, I think, is some testing the waters in the beginning. Till is going to try something at some point. Masvidal is either going to counter him or not, and if he does counter him successfully, then that opens the door for him moving forward and trying to put combinations together, and then eventually grappling with him. That's how we think it's going to go. And if he does not have success grappling with Till, then shit may get worse for him. He's going to have to pull from reserves, like bang it out with the guy.
I don't think he needs to bang it out.
And again, that's
to beat him with pocket boxing.
No. Well, for Till, it'll be pocket boxing because he's so much longer than him.
What?
For Masvidal,
but the problem is that Darren doesn't really have good range keepers. Like, he relies on his power, and if that's
he doesn't. No, he doesn't. I agree.
From getting inside and fucking him up on the inside.
I know, but you're making it sound like it's going to be a wash, that Masvidal is just going to walk over this guy. That's not necessarily what's going to happen. Like,
in the pocket, I think it would be pretty one-sided.
It should be. It should be one-sided, but we don't know. And we have to sort of outline all the potential it is.
Hold on. So when I say something, a specific point, it's a problem. But when you say a specific point, it's a hypothesis. I'm saying I think if Masvidal gets inside, he will be the one who is.
No, it's a fair point. It's a fair point. But just like I agree. Wait. Just like you disagree with my hypothesis, I am entitled to disagree with yours.
Right, I know.
But it's still okay.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
It's fair.
Okay, whatever.
No, it's fair. It's fair. But are we picking Masvidal? Because I am picking Masvidal.
I'm picking Masvidal as well. And I think Till will move up to middleweight after this, and people are going to be surprised by how well he does.
I think that until Masvidal wins and Till takes the welterweight, it's like, fuck it, I'm going to do it. I'm just going to keep cutting weight. You don't know me.
Let's do some quick hits on the remainder of the card. Leon Edwards versus Gunnar Nelson. Who are you picking and why?
Gunnar Nelson. I like him.
I'm going to pick Leon Edwards. I think that his wrestling is good enough to keep him upright, and I think that he's a better striker than Gunnar, and Gunnar gets hit with every other shot that's thrown at him, and Leon Edwards hits really fucking hard. I think
or maybe that can happen. that's probably a better metric for choosing someone.
Yeah, stylistically, Leon Edwards is not a good fight for Gunnar.
No, he's not.
Volkan Oezdemir versus Dominic Reyes. Who do you got?
Ooh, that's an interesting. Depends. I'm going to say Reyes because
we need him to win.
we kind of wanted to win because I think he's of Latino descent, and we're like, yes, go. No, but I think he's more. First of all, he has more upside because he's younger. He also seems to be more coherently put together than Volkan Oezdemir. But I think Oezdemir can blast him early.
Oh man. I think that Reyes will win for a couple reasons. One,
Well, he should win.
I think he will win. I'll tell you why. One, he's a better athlete by a lot than Oezdemir. Two, he doesn't rely on that athleticism, it seems. He seems to actually rely on working his technical striking, which is, granted, very aggressive, but also it's smart aggression. When he fought OSP, I was really impressed by the fact that he nearly finished OSP, but still just kept doing the things that allowed him to be successful in dropping OSP in the first round. And what impressed me about that was that he was just doing the things that were working, as opposed to like, okay, I hurt him in the first round, now I need to finish him in the second round. Like, no, he's like, here's what I was doing that was successful in the first round, and I'm going to continue to do those things in the second round, whether the finish comes or not.
And no, keep going. I'm sorry.
And that's something that you look for in a prospect, a dude who's like, he's not just relying on that athleticism, that power, and that finishing ability. He's like, no, I mean, I'm going to do the things that I worked on with my coaches to be successful in the first place, because there's a reason why they were working. There's a reason why I knocked him down. Just because OSP is weirdly durable. Like he's dropped.
He's weird in general.
But he's like weirdly able to survive in some instances, and it doesn't make any sense. Meanwhile, he'll get flatlined.
Yeah.
Oh, it's weird.
I love OSP. OSP is just generally weird. Yet, and so he's oddly responsible for a man that young. I mean, Reyes. So he, quote unquote, should win. But he's also has a tendency to be aggressive. I don't know that is necessarily going to be enough to offset Oezdemir, because Oezdemir is not like he's technically like shoddy. And he does have the power differential there in his favor. So chances are that he clocks Reyes with something, and he hasn't really been in deep waters yet, Dominic Reyes. So if Oezdemir gets him there to some extent by putting something on him that he cannot recover from, how will he react? You know what I'm saying? So I have to sadly pick Oezdemir here, just because he's been around longer and he has more experience. So I'm just gonna go with.
You're gonna go with Oezdemir? What specifically does he pose a threat? Because Volkan and Oezdemir, I granted it's a 3-round fight, so this probably won't come into as much into play. But he doesn't have a good gas tank either, and Reyes puts on a tremendous pace.
I know, but that tremendous pace is exactly that pace. Like he has to meet. The problem with Oezdemir is that he can put you out, right? At any moment. Like his power doesn't really fade that much. And so that very first round is gonna tell us where the fight is gonna go. Because if you want,
true though, because all of his KOs seem to come in the first round. In fact, he has never gotten a KO after the first round.
Fair enough.
So, in fact, I would say that once he's out of the first round is when Reyes is kind of in the clear. Obviously, that's a.
But my reference is the Anthony Smith's fight, in that even though he was out of the first round, he kept clocking Smith, who is just like a damaged sponge, and he felt that.
But Smith also
kept feeling that.
Smith is not unhurtable. He's just.
I know, but my point is that if you can still get hurt, like from every other stray shot,
because he was walking straight.
That means that this. Yeah, well, which Reyes shouldn't do.
Blocking him and no, he was just like he was just getting hit clean because he wasn't properly or using proper head movement. I wouldn't say that Smith is a good not analogy, a good
metric. Good metric.
Correct. a good metric to judge how Reyes fights. Reyes actually, I would say, not without the grappling, obviously, I would say, or wrestling, but I would say on the feet, Reyes kind of in some way reminds me of a Cordero fighter in the way he fights, where he'll get hit, but he doesn't really get hit clean a lot because he's always moving forward, but at the same time, he's also, he's using proper movement in, like, it's obviously not as skilled. He's only been fighting since 2014, so he's not as developed. But you get what I'm saying, right?
I get it, but I'm still not picking him. I'm picking Volkan. I
That's
think he's
fine.
gonna, because you have a fighter that is predicated, whose success is predicated on activity, against a fighter.
Well, not necessarily. It's predicated on activity, but he also hits really goddamn hard. Like Reyes has legit one-punch power too.
Well, so he should win, but I'm not sure that this is the time where he puts it all together. That's my point.
Okay, that's fair.
I think that
it is light heavyweight, so anything can pretty much.
Yeah,
happen.
so like you remember, like this, it hates young people. Like this weight class hates young people. So if he should win. Like all the technical aspects are there that he should win, right? But what I'm saying is that the thing that always happens is likely going to happen, and then just the old guy is gonna figure some bullshit out and clock the younger guy. Like I've seen it enough times.
I know. Listen, it's not as bad at heavyweight as heavyweight is to young people, but
No, it's still bad. It is still bad. Like, MMA stops making sense when you start living middleweight. Like if it doesn't make sense as it is, like when you start living middleweight, you start moving forward. Like it just gets weird and like foggy and shit happens. So I'm still picking Volkan. But Reyes should win. I can say that. Reyes should win.
I'm going to pick Reyes.
I want him to win. I want him to win. Honestly, I'm tired of the same people. Like, Volkan used to be the like a new guy like a year ago, but now it's like, eh.
You're old news now, Volkan.
You're old news, Volkan. You're too old now. Get in a wheelchair.
And with that, I think we've come to the end of another fantastic episode of...
No, we like Volkan. Don't be mad.
No, I don't have anything against him, but he is a hoofed fighter, so I expect him to fall apart.
But hey, they have a champion.
Yeah, and it's the one wrestler they have. It's hilarious. I think
that's amazing. That is amazing to me.
All of their strikers have the same problem. Meanwhile, they have this unbelievable wrestler who's like, yeah, I'm the only one.
Who is he's not like the best striker. Like we like Kamaru Usman.
Wow.
We feel compelled to like Kamaru Usman, but his striking is not the best.
Yep.
And he's a champion.
All right. Anyway, let's say goodbye, Alejandro, because we're coming to the end of another episode, and it's been wonderful.
Adios.
Thank you all so much for joining us again. Like, share, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the podcast. Keep a lookout to follow us on iTunes and eventually Stitcher. Thank you all so much for joining us. We love you. As Alejandro said, adios.
I don't really know you, but I also love you.